and welcome to my Body, Mind, Spirit Masterclass. If you do not know me, my name is Andrea Sommer. I am originally from Stockholm, Sweden. I live in Los Angeles and have been for the past 8 years now. And I started my whole journey becoming a personal trainer. I'm also a certified meditation coach, certified in Reiki, and certified spiritual life coach. So, first of all, I would like to know where you guys are tuning in from. So, write in the chat who you are, where you're from, and if you're watching this on replay, please comment below so I can know where you're tuning in from. And today we are going to talk about body, mind, and spirit, what it actually means, and how it's all connected. So, first of all, my brand is Body, Mind, Spirit because starting out as a personal trainer, I felt like something was kind of missing. And so I worked at a very high-end gym in LA and West Hollywood. It was very like surface focused on the way we look, aesthetics. And, even though I can get someone a small waist and a big butt, that wasn't really enough for me. So I always felt like something was missing while trying to fit into this, fitness trainer box. And so making my way through it, a little bit of my journey, when I first started as a trainer, 1 month into that, my dad died. And so this was obviously a very life-changing experience that flipped my life upside down. And so trying to navigate my way through my career and still working with what I loved and dealing with this grief and loss, I started a complete new, different journey. And so it turned into more focus on my healing, my mindset, and I really had to do a lot of inner work in order to move through this. And so that's when I first got introduced to meditation, and it literally saved my life. Like, I cannot explain how much of an impact it has had on my life. And so in my process, I turned to meditation. I went to London and got certified, which was incredible. And I had always been kind of in tune with spirituality and my spirit. I'm curious about that, but this was a way into a whole deeper connection. And so that started the whole body, mind, spirit movement that's now my brand. And so what this is that all the tools and everything that I have learned throughout this journey and throughout these years is something that I know is life-changing and I know can help so many people. And so this whole body, mind, spirit coaching actually came to me and in one night where I was feeling kind of down. I had like negative thoughts kind of going into that spiral, and I just like turned it into this just creative force, and I just wrote out the program in one night. And so that was my inspiration, and I felt so aligned with this because I feel like finally I have put together what has truly helped me and what I know can help others. So I'm super, super, super excited for the launch of this program. So going into what body, mind, and spirit is and why it's connected. So my thing is that if you are not putting enough energy into all these three things, there will be something missing. And so we've all heard like, oh, if you eat really good, you work out, you're healthy, but you're still having negative thoughts, or you can still be depressed or have anxiety. Like, just because you are healthy on the outside, it does not mean that you're feeling good mentally, right? And so even if you're doing all the things right on paper, you're eating good, you're taking care of yourself, you're working out, you're might even have a successful business and a great career, but you still feel like something is missing. And that is that connection between the body, mind, spirit, and it creates a misalignment. And so how do you know that you don't feel aligned? That can show up in just, negative thought patterns, or feeling simply detached from your true self. You feel like something's missing, or you're anxious, you're depressed. It shows up in a lot of different ways. And so when it comes to alignment, I'm curious to know if you can pop it in the chat. What is alignment to you? What does that mean to you? And if you're watching this on replay, you can pop a little comment and let me know what alignment means to you. And so for me, that means I'm living my purpose. That means I feel like I'm co-creating with the universe, and that everything that I do in life is aligned with this purpose. And it doesn't mean that I'll never have negative thoughts, or like feel unsatisfied with life, or feel triggered in my relationships, or whatever it might be. We're human, that happens. And so what is different now is my response to these thoughts, to these emotions, to these situations that might occur. And it's this belief that life is happening for me, not to me. And so I think that's a very important thing. Number one is to define what alignment means to you and how that feels. Because if we don't know how it feels, it's really hard to go after something that we don't really know what it's supposed to feel like. And if you're having trouble finding what that is, just go back to a point in your life where you felt like everything was just going right, and you have that feeling of like bliss and synchronicity, and you're like, this is life. That's the feeling that you want to feel. But not only when something good happens or something great happens, but when you're simply living life every day. And so going into pillar number one, which is body. And so obviously working out and moving your body is important. It is, I mean, I'm the biggest advocate for strength training. I think that's like so important, because you want to strengthen your body, you want to feel good, because when we get old, our body is going to cripple down, and you'll be happy that you have some muscles. And so that is number one, of moving your body. And even if it's not strength training, find something that you love. Just going on a walk have so many mental benefits. So not only to your physical body, and it gives you endorphins, and also the fact that we keep a lot of tension in our body. So a lot of negative thinking, trauma, whatever it might be, might store in your body. Stress stores in your body. So to just release some of that tension is also super, super helpful. And another thing then is eating healthy. So I think now there's this trend that goes around, it's a lot of focus on calories, and like the aesthetics of it, that you can eat, I say this so much, like you eat 5 donuts and still reach your goal, or whatever it might be. And so even though that's amazing, and I believe in balance, I think it also comes down to, but why do you want to eat these things, unhealthy foods? And we need to start asking ourselves questions, because I can be as fit as I am eating, sugary foods or whatever it might be, but how is my gut health? And I talk about this a lot because I think it's so important, because 70% of our immune system is coming from our gut. And that's like major. Our overall health, our immune system is in our gut. So that's a reason on its own that you want to take care of your gut health. Number two is that 90% of serotonin is made in your gut, which is our feel good hormone. And so that's why it's so correlated. Our brain and gut are so related to each other when it comes to depression, anxiety, how we feel, our mood in general is so greatly impacted by our gut health. And so I teach this also in my app. I have my book, Mindful Eating, because it's so much more about calories and reaching a physical goal. It's actually analyzing how your body's feeling when you're eating these things. And that's another thing, is listening to your body. And a lot of us in this society, we're like on the go, 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 go. There's stress, we work so much, and there's not a lot of moments in our life when we just sit down and actually feel into how we're doing and how our body's doing. Are we tired? Are we fatigued? Are we energized? And so these questions need to be asked not only when you're eating things, but like every day, all the time. It can change. And your body will tell you what it needs if we really listen. Sirens out here in LA, always. So, and the number two is mind and your mindset. And I always say, like, mindset is everything, 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 everything. And so our thoughts are so freaking powerful, and they decide how we view the world and how we view ourselves. And it's so important to realize, which I had to realize, that our thoughts and our beliefs are not part of who we are. We usually tend to kind of identify ourselves with our thoughts. And I mentioned an example before where I asked this neuroscience professor, because I went to a retreat with her, and I said, I'm an anxious person. I've always been since I was little. Will this neuroscience therapy help me with that? And she was the first one to tell me that, well, first of all, you're identifying yourself with anxiety. It's not who you are. It's a feeling. It's an emotion coming from your thoughts. And so that was such a big thing for me, because I never viewed it that way. I had just the belief of my entire life, I'm anxious. I'm an anxious person. That's just who I am. And it's really not. And so with that, I could kind of detach myself from that and see that it was a thought. It's coming from an emotion when something is going on, or when I'm having certain thoughts, and also the power to regulate that on a mindset level, but also on a physical level, where it's like our body can be regulated by our own nervous system by simply breathing. And so I teach that a lot in my program too, where we go into breath work, because it's so, so, so important. And you can change your state of mind, or your state of in your body, just by changing the way you breathe. And it's so powerful. Sometimes most of us just breathe shallowly through our chest, and like we're on the go, and just sit and focus on belly breathing is like so life-changing. And so when it comes to mindset, also your thoughts, your beliefs, getting stuck in negative thoughts, self-doubt, staying comfortable, or simply believing that in order to reach something, we need to do this and to do that, or there's like this feeling of a destination to be happy. And I think that's so important to talk about that. it's the society that we're in, right? We're very goal oriented. We need to have a career. We need to be an amazing girlfriend, amazing boyfriend, amazing daughter, amazing mom. There's all these labels of how what we need to accomplish and need to do in order to be happy. And it takes away the simple fact that you are allowed to and you should be happy just by being you. And just by being in your magic, just by being who you are, living your life, sharing your light, that is enough. And coming into spirit and what that really means is, I don't know if you guys heard this term of saying, I'm a spirit having a human experience. And spirituality, I think sometimes is very, I mean, now I think it's more explored and talked about, but before it was kind of like a little woo-woo, like, spirituality is like up in the clouds, and it's really going deeper inside of you. And for me, it's all about energy. And so talking about being on a, I've talked about it before, being in a high vibration, being in a high frequency is really feeling that alignment that I talked about and being happy on your own without relying on the external things to happen to you to then feel good. And I just released a YouTube video on this, on how to feel good and to actually starting with feeling good and then good things happen rather than good things happen and then you feel good. And so when I talk about spirituality and I'm talking about the divine, for me, it's about whatever you want to call it, God, divine, universe, whatever that is to you. But to me, it's something bigger than myself. And that creates this way of being able to surrender. And so there's, coming back to the culture of like doing things, always striving for the next thing. It took me a long time to, and pretty recently, where I was also in that masculine, like go, 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 coming to the fact of it is okay, it is enough to just be me without accomplishing this, doing that, finding love, whatever it might be that we feel like we have to do in order to be happy, letting that go and simply realize that life is magical just as it is. And it's about surrendering and it's about trusting. And it's like when I mentioned co-creating with the universe, it's knowing that universe has my back. It's kind of like the everything happens for a reason. And I understand that that might be difficult sometimes when things happen, bad things happen. And I know I've been there myself, where it's something so hurtful and so doesn't make any sense at all. How is this happening for a reason? And it's not so much finding that reason, but it's looking at the bigger picture of what actually is going well in life. And so when things are going bad, because things will always happen, that is life, like we cannot control that at all, but it's the fact of when something bad happens or something challenging happens, you can take a look at your life and see 10 things that are going well simultaneously with this bad experience. There are other things in your life that are going well and that you can be happy for and be grateful for. And so gratefulness became a super powerful tool, and it's so simple. And I used it all the time in my healing journey with my loss, because I had to take a look at everything else that I could be grateful for in life when going through this, because otherwise it I would not have survived in that moment. And talking about the full transformation is to also see that that's not an end goal either. You know, it's not, we don't reach a destination and then it's done. So like telling you that you should join my 3-month body mind spirit program if you feel called to, it's not saying this is the recipe to transformation and then you're done, you're perfect, that's it. It is an ongoing journey for the rest of your life. And I think it's so important to find the beauty and the magic in this journey, because that's life. And things will happen and you will learn and you will grow about yourself, learn about yourself and grow every single day if you just have that self-awareness. And so going into more of the program and what that means. And so 12 weeks, and this program has kind of a set outline, but it's completely different depending on what you feel like you need at the moment. And so one of the first things that we go through is your intention and your goals with everything. So why are you committing to this program? What are you looking to change or add into your life? What is your why? And so I'd be interested to know, pop it in the chat and let me know if you're watching the replay. What do you feel like you're missing in life or want more of? What's your intention? What is your why? Let me know. I'm going to charge my computer real quick or put the cord in. So for me, I can tell you that before I started my job as a trainer, I felt like something was really missing in my life and I could not figure out what that was. And I was happy, I was living a good life. There wasn't really, like, on paper looked great, and I just felt like something was missing and I couldn't figure out. I was working at a job that I didn't really like, even though I was in my dream city. Like, there was still something that wasn't right. And so finding my purpose, which is this, what I'm doing right now, changed my life. And we talk about purpose a lot, and I think it's important to say that, you know, you don't have to have a job where, you know, you really serve others, but finding what lights you up, what makes you happy. And that could be sharing your light just by being you in your everyday life. It doesn't have to do anything with your job. Whatever it is, just finding truly what lights your soul on fire. And for me, I kind of knew that what my passion was, but I wasn't ready, or I was too comfortable before I made the decision to really go after the life of my dreams. And so that was a big when we talk about what stands in your way, which we clarify in the program as well, is what is preventing you from living your absolute dream life, from reaching your goals that you have. What is actually standing in the way? And most of the time, it's not really even, you know, like logical, factual things that we're talking about, but it's in our head. And it's about getting clear on what you want, and then removing anything that doesn't support that in your life. And that can be situations, that could be jobs, that can be people, and that can be your own mindset. And so for me, I had to work a lot with self-doubts, limiting beliefs. And that is where the self-awareness comes in and is so important. That's what we talk about when we're talking about doing the work, because it's freaking uncomfortable. Like, to challenge your own belief system and to really ask yourself why you're doing certain things and really question your old conditioning, the way that you've always done things, the way that you think, it is uncomfortable. And it is uncomfortable, but on the other side is freedom. And it is the freedom to live your life as you want and to connect with your own authentic self. And it's kind of like, instead of learning things, we're unlearning, right? We have so many things that we've learned through our parents, through school, through culture, through friends, school, jobs, whatever it might be, that we already have imprinted in our head and in our belief system, that this is our reality, this is the way it is. So to question your own reality, you need some tools and how to do that, because it is not easy. And it doesn't mean that it's going to be, it's going to suck. This is a process of really enjoying finding out who you really are and really finding out what makes you feel alive. Because at the end of the day, we have one life and we want to be alive and happy. And that is what's the most important thing, is your happiness. Number one, that should be your priority. And that is what it all comes down to, the 3 pillars of body, mind, spirit. Everything needs to be connected. The work has to be done in all 3 in order for you to get to that point. And so real quick on how the program is built up. Like I said, we set your intentions, your goals, and then we work a lot on what's standing in your way. And again, this will be very different depending on what that is. It's self-limiting beliefs, and I will give you all the tools that I've used in order to work on this. We talk about self-love, self-awareness. We even go into trauma, and that is different for everyone. And like I said, there's kind of like this idea of trauma being something huge. And it doesn't have to be, it can be, but usually it's like little things that have happened in our childhood that we might not even pay attention to until like later in life, one little situation comes up and we're like, oh, that makes sense. Like I'm still, especially in relationships, that's kind of where we grow the most. You can have a friendship or a romantic partner or whatever it might be, and something comes up and you're like, why did I react that way? And if you really backtrack, you can find out how it's all correlated. And it's that self-awareness is huge. And it's the most important thing is, like I said, you'll always have these thoughts. You might not always react in the way that you wish or the way you want to, but it's about acknowledging and forgiving yourself and choosing again. Like every day we have this opportunity to choose again. So whatever we're going through in life, wherever we think it's hard, whatever we're not happy with, every day, every hour, every minute is an opportunity to choose again. Did something you're not proud of? It's okay, we're human, choose again. So we talk a lot about realizing all these things and forgiving and accepting and inner child conversations. And then that's the first half of the program, kind of going into everything that we want and has been. And then it's about creating a new story and choosing again, like I said. And this is where it all changes. It has a lot to do with self-awareness, self-talk, and really being aware of all the decisions and everything you're doing in your everyday life. And this is why it's a process. This is why it's not a week, it's not a month. This is because creating a habit takes time. They said before it takes 21 days. I think it takes like actually 63 days. So this is where we'll create a practice for you, whatever that might be, for you to focus on, because it's repetition, it's practice, it's just taking feeling good, for example. It takes practice. And if you haven't checked out my latest YouTube, you can do that, about how to create these practices for you guys. But we just kind of expect that we're gonna be happy just by being, or just by something happening. And as humans, we kind of have this negative default mode, which is negative emotions. And it's so much easier for our brains to attach to that. That's why we talk about spirals, because we go into these negative spirals rather than attaching to something good. And it can even be a resistance to something good, because it's like, if something didn't really happen to you, what is it to be happy about, to feel good about? So biologically, neurologically, we have to kind of fight against our human patterns. And that takes work, and that takes practice, and it takes specific practices for this. And like I said, just because we're doing the work, there'll still be triggers and negative thinking that comes up. So I teach you a lot of how to deal with this and what to use in these moments. And we talk about abundance and happiness and spirituality and the divine, whatever that means for you, and finding your true identity, your true self, what that really is, who that really is. And that is, like I said, a lifelong discovery. But this will help you come home to yourself more. And like I said, it's about unlearning more than learning. And then we talk about manifesting and attraction, and being on that high frequency, and how to be on that high frequency and really attracting everything that you want in life. And that's kind of the rundown of the program. If you have any questions about specific program, please drop it in the chat or comment after. And then I was thinking that we were going to do a little meditation to end this little masterclass. So find a place that's comfortable. We're just going to do like 10 minutes to end this. So just grab a comfortable seating, or lay down if you'd like. We're just going to do a little gratefulness visualization meditation from me to you today to start the week off right. I'm going to find my meditation playlist. How's everyone doing? Any questions that comes up, let me know before we do this little meditation. Maybe there's questions after that. Okay. I will assume that everyone's sitting nice and comfortably. So just cross your legs and try to sit with your spine straight. And gently rest your hands on your knees. And close your eyes. And just start to focus on your breath. In through your nose and out through your nose. Feel the rise of your belly as you inhale. And feel it deflate as a balloon as you exhale. And then place your left hand on your belly and your right hand on your heart. And simply continue to breathe at your own pace. We're going to take a few deep breaths together as you're going to inhale on 7 counts and exhaling on 7. So in through your nose and out through your mouth. Inhale and exhale. All the way in, all the way out. Inhale on 7. And exhale. Two more, big inhale. And exhale. Last one. Come back to your normal breathing. I want you to now start thinking about the things that you're grateful for in life. Whatever that might be to you. Really feel into this gratefulness. Just feel the gratefulness and happiness in your body, thinking about these things. How does that make you feel? And feel like how this lights up your entire body. Feel this inner light coming from within. For all the beauty that you have in your life. And then I want you to start visualizing. Visualize yourself as your highest self. When you are the happiest, when you feel that bliss, that excitement in your life. See that person in front of you. What is she wearing? What is she doing? Where is she? And just tap into that version of yourself. When you're the happiest, when you're doing what you love. What does that look like? What does that feel like? And tap into that feel good feeling. And then start to come back to your body where it is now. Back to your breath, into the space that you're in. And whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. And like I said, gratefulness and visualizing are such powerful tools and such an amazing way to tune inwards and just allow ourselves to feel good, even if it's connecting to a past experience or it might seem like a complete fantasy. Whatever it might be, that's okay to use and to feel good. And so, if you enjoyed this meditation, I encourage you to do it on your own um, for the rest of the week, even if it's just 5 minutes or 10 minutes, whatever that might be. Um, it's such a powerful thing to be truly grateful for what we have and also to envision the life that we want for ourselves. And so that is all for the masterclass today. Thank you so much for joining me. And if you're watching the replay, please message me and let me know that you watched it and what you think. And I will see you guys on the next one. If you have any questions about programs, whatnot, meditation, whatever it might be, just message me. Have a wonderful day.